Here we go. Hello, everyone. How's it going? I still got some people filing in here. All right. These are prime sledding hours right now, right? Like we're right in the middle of the day. Sun's up. Um, we still got a couple minutes before we get started. One thing that Mr. Miller has been asking us to do is if you guys are joining our Zooms, so we can count you as being here and you actually see you. We want your cameras on. So if your cameras are working, get those on so we can see some faces. Yep, and I can count you guys as being um, here for today, being in attendance. All right. We're going to try to keep it short. I know, kind of in the middle of the day like this, you're like, I'm ready to be done. So we'll try to keep it short today. How's everybody doing? Like thumbs up, wave, hello, hola. Good. I see some faces out there looking good. I see Emma over there on the. Is that a brother sister with you there on the couch?
Sister.
Sister, I got you. Naaman, see you there. Having a nice drink of soda. There's Brooke. Hey, Brooke. Landon, the Seahawks towel beside him there. Nice. Austin, he's ready to go. Big Daniel over there, he's got his gaming headset. He's ready to roll. Emily, hello, hello. Mr. Carr, walking around the house. That's what my daughter does. She's like, takes her computer. I was like, sit down. Nobody, they don't need to see our dirty house. Our house is so dirty. Aiden, I see you sitting in the dark over there. Sebastian, something stink. You run over a skunk. What happened over there? No, you're good. All right. Micah, Raquel, see Zoe, Rihanna. I see your door. There's Braden. Yeah, Alyssa, her camera is messed up on her Zoom on her Chromebook, so I know we're not going to be able to see hers. So she was telling me about that before we started. All right. Yeah, Damon, I saw you got it done early, and it really is a pretty simple assignment. We're going to go over it pretty quick, let you guys kind of take lead on it, and we'll get out of here pretty soon. So it won't take us very long. Easier than last time's NTI. I didn't do like an assignment every day, just doing like a 2 day, like knock one thing out, it knocks out 2 days, and there's a video to help you if you need help. And then of course the Zoom, we're going to go through it together. So if you want to go ahead, if you haven't done the assignment for Tuesday, get on the calendar on Schoology, open it up. We're going to go through the problems together. If you didn't make 100 on it, take it again and do it with us and make sure that you get 100 on it as we go through it. In the chat, you can share answers, share thoughts as we go through it. I'll be asking questions, and we'll dive right in. It's good to see everybody, though, for sure. It's the one on Monday was not an actual assignment, Callie. I'm sorry, Daniel. The one on Monday was just a video. The one that's on Tuesday's calendar is an actual assignment that you have to answer like 5 questions. So open that one from Tuesday. Monday was just a video of me discussing how to do the problems. All right. So yeah, Callie, I saw that. That's cool. As long as you're typing in the chat, that's another way to let me know that you're here and participating. So that works too. That's what I told Alyssa. If she types in a couple times, I know that she was following along with us. We should be good to go. Yeah, Sebastian, if you already made 100 on it, you can just kind of follow along with us. You don't have to retake it again. And obviously your grade's good. I'm not going to change it. That's going over again. Landon, no, you don't have to reopen it if you've already made 100. You can just kind of help those that maybe haven't done it as we go along. 84, Sebastian, we're going to do it in like 10 minutes and you can make 100. So why not take it again? Right. So I think that would be the wise thing to do. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to open up the questions and get started here. So let me look up the first one, I think, here. Now, I'm only going to see a few faces over here. So if you got a question or something, just be sure to type it into the chat. I've got that pulled up. I should be able to see responses. Okay. So this entire week, we're going to do tape diagrams, matching them to a story. All right. That's what this first problem is about. And then also tape diagrams, matching them to an equation, which is kind of the last couple of questions. And then tomorrow and Thursday, I'm going to bundle a little lesson together for you guys where you solve for X in the tape diagram after the story problem. So it all kind of connects together. Okay. So Oh, I've got a bunch of people waiting to get let in, so I guess I should probably do that. So let me let these people in. Sorry about that. All right. For those of you that just came in, sorry if you had to wait. I was distracted with starting everything, so you guys should be good to go. Thank you, Sebastian, for reminding me of that. I wouldn't have seen that if I didn't see your reminder. Appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to go through these kind of one at a time. And in the chat, if you guys can just kind of participate and give some of the answers that I asked for, this will go a lot faster. So I'm going to read the first problem and then hear which one you think it is and why. All right. So Lynn bought 4 bags of apples. Each bag had the same number of apples. And after eating one from each bag, she had 28 left. So of those, Carter, I see that. Nice. Of those 3 that are there, A, B, C, which of those did we choose? Which should we choose? And why? So give me a reason why as well. I'm going to check out the chat as you guys are typing. I see a lot of C's. That's good. That's good. Let's hear some reasons why C. Sebastian says because she's eating one from each bag. Okay, so eating one is like adding or taking away. Well, obviously, if we're picking C, it's like a takeaway, right? It's subtraction. Nice. So, the eating, I think, is really the key word there. We see the word eating, that's like a takeaway, right? So, if every one of those X's represents a set amount of apples in the bag, then eating them is a takeaway. Let me read some of these other responses that I'm seeing. There's 4 bags. All right, Emily, you're kind of getting into the next question there. I like that. So I'm going to hold off on reading that, but I like that response. She's eating, which means take away, Leona. Nice. She's eating 1 apple, so you have to take away 1 from each bag. I like that, Brooke. Eli. Yeah, eating takeaway. So I think if you read these story problems, there's usually going to be like a keyword like that lets you know it's a takeaway or an add-on or multiply or divide out. So look for those keywords. You've been looking for those for a long time. So that's why on the first problem, you want to be selecting C for your diagram. It does match the story the best. All right, let's go to the next problem. And Emily kind of alluded to it in her response. So, same question, same situation. What part of the story does X represent? So, this is the one that we chose. So, we're ignoring the other 2. All right. What does the X represent? And be specific when you type that into your response in the chat, because I want some specifics. Don't just say that it's the number of apples, or don't just say that it's um, how many apples. Be more specific about it, because it really is important, because she's eating some of them. It's important what we put here. Let's see what we got so far. Oh, lots of responses. I love it. Amount before she ate some. Amount of apples in each bag. I like that, William. Hunter. It's weird seeing William on there. The total number in each bag. Yes, Leona, that's good. And then I like how he added before she started to eat some, right? And I think that's what in the responses on Schoology, it's the number of apples per bag, right? That's important, but it also has to mention in the response before she started eating them, because after she ate one from each bag, there's a different number in there. So we got to specify that, right? So apples per bag before eating, before any eatings took place. All right. So those are the first 2. So really what this lesson is about is reading those stories, trying to make a match. You always are going to have like this total number, and then you're building all of these things that add up to that total number. All right. And there's going to be an unknown part in there, usually what the question is asking about, like how many apples were in the bag in the first place. And that would be what that question would ask if it was extending from there. All right. All right. So let's move on. I'm going to stop the share for a second and see y'all's faces again. Nice. Y'all look awesome. And I'm going to share the next part, and then we'll be finishing up here. Okay. So the next one that I'm going to share are the last 2 questions that are on there. And the first one that we're going to look at is a story followed by 4 different tape diagrams. And of course, there it goes. I'm going to say it's not responding. Perfect. And let's have somebody else speak. So volunteer, first person in the chat to volunteer just to read this one about Amy Forrest. So toss in there. I want to see who said first. Me, And Naaman is the winner of the first to type quickly. All right, Naaman, if you would read that little question about Amy. Unmute yourself and read that to us.
It's kind of small,
It
but
is kind of small. Yeah, I would. Let me see. Does this help? If does that help? And
yeah.
I'll scroll along with you as you read. Go ahead.
Amy wants to save $180 for a new jacket. She has $60 up to this point. She expects to have enough money after 8 weeks of her regular babysitting mate at the Johnsons. Which tape diagram best represents the story?
All right, well done there, Naaman. Thank you for reading that for us. And let's do this one a little bit different. So this time in the chat, instead of telling me which one that you think that it is, tell me one that you think we can eliminate and why. So I don't think it's A because, or I don't think it's D, I don't think it's B because, I don't think it's C. Like write a little ditty in there in the chat, one that you can eliminate for this story of the 4 options and a reason why. There's my chat was going away. All right, I'll give you guys a little bit of think time to type that in there. All right, I got 2 responses. I'm going to start with, all right, I see an elimination of D. So Carter says D. We're going to knock that one out because the number we know isn't 68, it's 60. That's true. She's already saved $60, not $68. They were trying to combine the 8 weeks with the 60, right? And weeks and money don't jive here. So I like that. I'm going to go ahead and go with Carter there. I like that explanation. D is not a good choice. So we're going to knock that one out. Let's see if I can find another elimination. Lots of good stuff written in here. Emily says A because 180 is the goal, not a part. Yeah, that's good. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to have A there if 60 is the hole, 180 doesn't fit inside of that hole, right? So that's a good choice, Emily. I like that. So A and D are definitely out of the game. D because it starts with 60, not 68. Landon, I see that. So a lot of you are agreeing with them. All right, let's see which one that hasn't been eliminated yet. Hunter agreed with A. Naaman agreed with A. Hunter agreed with A. All right, so I got some C's popping up. And Daniel started that discussion by saying, you do not add 8. And then also because it doesn't make sense. Okay, can either Daniel or let's start with Hunter. Okay, you said it doesn't make sense. Hunter, can you kind of elaborate on that? Why does C not make sense for this situation? Make sure you unmute before you start going. And then we'll let Daniel chime in if he agrees with you. Hunter, I don't hear you, buddy. I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear you. I don't know if that's just me or oh, there you go. Try again. I hear you typing. Say something again, Hunter. I think it's something. Whatever you did, I think it just turned back on. Okay. Gage, go ahead. Hit us with your response. Hunter says his isn't. It's cutting in and out.
Okay, so I feel like 8 is not a number that you would add to the 60 because 8 in this case is representing how many weeks that she will have to work to get to her goal, not an amount of money.
Yeah, and really
Because the goal is
the thing we don't know
$180
here is
money.
not one thing, right? It happens 8 times, right? She's going to make money 8 times. So that X should be happening over and over and over again, right?
And that's why B is the answer to this question because we have to repeat X multiple times.
Good. And what is X really representing here, Daniel? I mean, what is it representing in the story?
It represents how much money she makes after 1 week.
Yeah, it's per time she babysits for the Johnson, right? And she does that 8 times, 8 X's, right? That's going to add up to 60. And hopefully by the end of all of it, she'll have the $180 that she wants. Good. I like that. Nicely explained there. All right, let's move on to the last part. Okay, number 4. Um, and let's do this one this way. I'll get us started with a match, and then somebody else give us a match. And be ready if you give me a match in the chat to unmute yourself and tell us why you picked that one. Okay. Now I'm going to pick an easy one. So I'm going to take one of the easy ones away. So deal with it. The one I'm going to take away is A. Okay. This is the total is 19. Okay. So I know that 19 is like by itself on one side of the equals. And then inside my tape diagram, I've got a 5 plus, okay, I'm adding on to that, not 1, but 2 X's. So I like that to match the equation that looks exactly like that, right? So I'm gonna match that one up with A. Okay. So somebody else throw out there, I've got a match for C, D, or E, and you're ready to explain which one it is. And you could even type it in if you want, but be ready to unmute if I call on you after you typed it in, and you can share with the class why you picked one of those matches. Okay. So C, D, or E, and one of the 3 remaining ones at the bottom. All right. Carter has one for D. So Carter, go ahead, unmute, and tell us which one that matches and how you know.
It matches with the third one because it's x divided by 5, which that's the only one that shows dividing.
Oh, okay. It does kind of look like a division symbol, but it actually is a plus.
Oh,
So it is a plus. So it does have plus in it, and there are some other ones with plus, but I like that. That would be true if it was the only one with division. That would be a good match for it. Okay.
okay.
So
Yeah.
somebody else with a different reason why D goes with that one. That is a plus sign, and all of these have pluses. The ones that are grouped together in those groups like that. But I like the way that you're looking for those kind of differences. All right. Let's see. No, you may never leave. Austin, if you could just stick around for we're almost done, buddy. Emily, you said C goes with 5x plus 2. Can you tell us why you picked that one to match that one?
That one because there's 5x's and then you gotta add that to 2 to get the number.
All right, I can barely hear you coming through. If you could maybe speak up a little bit or type what you said in the chat would be fine. I could read it out loud for you. Landon, we're holding captives in our Zoom meeting. Hostage situation online. Yes, Raquel, you can. That's fine. There is 5 X's and that go with 2 to make the sum. Okay, I like that. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 X's and a single 2, right? Just 1, 2. So that would represent having 5 X's and a single 2, which would be this one right here. So this purple one that I just highlighted, she's saying that's 5 X's plus a single 2 equals the total 19. And she's exactly right. Now, I will say that the one that Carter gave me was correct, but not for the reason that he gave. Why does D match this green one? I want a good explanation of why those go together. There's a couple of different good ways you could explain that.
Can I answer this one?
Yeah, go ahead, Daniel. That's fine.
Okay. So I understand I understand what Carter was going for, but the way that I would explain it is that there's a total of 19 and it's split into 2 groups, and each of the groups has an X, and you add 5 to each of the X's, which would explain that's plus 5 whenever you divide the 19 by 2.
I like that. And when you divide this by 2, right, it's being split into 2 parts. So think of it as being split into 2 groups, group 1, group 2. And when you split it into two, each of those groups individually is worth x plus 5. So that's one way to think about it, is splitting that 19 up into halves, and each half is x plus 5 as shown by the diagram, right? Which means that E must match with 5 groups of x plus 2 equals 19. And the way that I say that probably makes more sense. And earlier this week, I think it was yesterday. We had a group that said that one matched the one that Emily matched it up with. And a lot of people argue that those two things are the same. And this is something we're going to have on tomorrow's lesson. This one from right here does not equal the same thing as this. Okay. Having 5 groups of x plus 2 looks like E, right? But having 5 x's in a single 2 looks like C. Big difference as far as the solution, big difference as far as the setup. 5 groups. Think of this as 5 groups of x plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll get more into that in the next lesson. But that should get you through, guys, and have a perfect score. I think the 5th question was just something silly. Whatever your answer is going to be fine. Right? Yeah, Mr. Catlin's online heist. Leota, we will not have a Zoom tomorrow for this group. We'll have another Zoom on Thursday, and it'll be me going over the assignment that I post tonight, probably, or tomorrow, that covers Wednesday and Thursday. So you can come and work through it together like we just did, be done in 20 minutes, or you can try to do it on your own and, take it over and over until you get it all right. It's really up to you, but I'm here to help, and everything that you get done this week, I should be able to help you. Friday, you will have a quiz. Let me stop sharing here so I can see y'all's faces. Friday, you will have a quiz, and I'll probably try to post that for a Thursday afternoon right after our Zoom. That way, if you want to knock it out and not have to do anything on Friday, and just I don't know. Maybe we'll go to school Friday. I don't know. The roads are still pretty bad. I was just out on them a while ago. Dropped my daughter off at a friend's house, and they're still pretty covered. And we're supposed to get another round of some accumulation maybe tomorrow. So who knows? But just keep checking your emails, keep checking your calendar. You should be fine. The faces that I see on here, you guys normally take care of your stuff, so I don't see any issue with y'all getting stuff completed. I'm trying to keep it fairly light this week compared to our November NTI. I was doing an assignment a day. This is kind of more of an every other day kind of thing, and then you'll have a quiz Thursday, Friday. So just be on the lookout for that. All right. Any questions? Type them in the chat, or if you feel brave enough to unmute yourself and say hola, feel free to do that. It's good to see if those that came in a little late, Allie, Tanner, Allie, both Allies, if you guys could unmute your video so I could at least count you as you were here in person. There you are, Allie. Nice. And Tanner. All right. So you guys were along for the ride. I know Kelly and Alyssa's cameras are acting up, but they have both typed in and shared with me. So I know everybody that here is here. It's good to see everybody's face. I hope you're staying warm and getting all your stuff done, and I'm not taking up too much of your time. So you guys are free to go. Yes, the hostage takeover is, and Austin might have already been like, I did this. I'm heading out. He's gone quick. But y'all have a great day. Yeah. I'm going to send him an email and be like, how dare you leave the hostage situation? I kept it under 20 minutes.
It's a hostage situation, but you can stop yourself from getting cornered.
That's
well, I don't know.
This is a hostage situation. Leaves the call. Okay then.
Your
ping. Y'all have a good rest of the day.
Sky high when you started talking.
Yeah. I see this part of Destiny's face. Oh man, y'all have a great one. It's good to see everybody. All right, if y'all have any extra questions and you remember it later, just send me an email. Okay, Eli, you been playing any Destiny? Oh, he just left. All right, see you guys.